Bonafide Takeover Sports, new season. So you already know we got to come back with... welcome to Bonafide Takeover Sports, new season. So you know you already going to come back with some new news. Check out what's going on in the world of sports. Here with your host, T-Wil, the People's Coach, and Bold Barry.
Back with the action. Here we go.
And basketball is back.
I love it.
We went on a little...
Take a knee to that.
That's a different sport, bro. we can't do that in basketball. The memo came out.
Adam's like, yo, chill, B.
We don't do that here.
Y'all about to mess up the ratings? Hold up. Sorry, guys. Let's get back to the real.
Yeah, so back to the real. Preseason. So preseason's going on right now. A lot of teams kind of showing what we're kind of, little preview of what we're going to see in that regular season. We're going to touch on, right now, we're going to touch on the Celtics and the Lakers. Just because of the rivalry, you know, the home team, the rival team.
We know there's a lot of Laker fans out there, so we'll touch on both teams.
And then you look at it in terms of like young youth, up and coming teams. You know, you gotta say
they're both legit to talk about.
Yeah, you know, I'm not to ignore these some of the other, like the Suns or the Kings who have young up and coming players, but in the Sixers. But I feel like that rivalry still has to be talked about.
And we're fresh out of Boston, so I mean, what choice do we have to do? You know?
So the Celtics preseason game, played the Hornets. We won, you know.
Seen some folks out there going off about preseason stats. I'm like, what's wrong with people?
Who's going on?
You know these little.
No, I mean, like, what were they saying?
They're just like, Kyrie, like, couldn't outplay Kemba Walker and like little like silly things like that. It had to be like kids born in 1995 or something. But sorry.
No, I mean, one thing that stood out to me. It's still early. Hayward don't look right.
It's just weird seeing him in a green uniform.
No, not that. Like, not. I'm talking about, I know, like,
I know.
Yeah, no, like Kyrie and Horford seem to mesh.
Because it's a role game. They play that pick and roll.
You know, but Hayward still seemed like he was trying to find himself a little bit.
Because Hayward's coming from a place where he was the main guy. That's how I look at it. Like, the main guy from another team always has to make the finest adjustment. It's kind of like anybody, like a Chris Bosh, like all those like third. Because I look at him as like a third wheel guy, even though he's the second option. Yeah, he's like the third wheel guy because he's not acclimated into the offense.
Shoot, you look at it. Horford was playing like he's the guy.
I mean, he's the leader. Like, you keep hearing these words.
But he was taking the shots. He was making things happen.
He's been there for 2 years now.
Yeah, but I'm looking at, and one thing that's aggravating me about Kyrie, even though I know he's gonna get out of it. I like that he's trying not to be a facilitator, but dudes are fumbling his passes and missing his layups. So now my guy want to be a facilitator, and no one can complete the other part of the pass.
But just remember, man, it's still preseason, first preseason game. Dudes is gonna have that chemistry right when practice happens alone. Remember, they still doing that every day. Like,
I'm speaking for the guy. I'm speaking from the standpoint of people who feel Kyrie can't facilitate, and he shows that he has the ability.
He has the ability. Sorry. He has the ability, and he did a lot more as far as trying to do it versus what I seen what he was doing in the Cavs because he just didn't have the opportunity. You're playing with another facilitator and playmaker in Cleveland, and now we can be that guy.
Don't have the opportunity. I wouldn't say that. But okay, so what I was getting at, was the fact that even though I wanted to be more of a facilitator, he was being too passive. Granted, first game, trying to mesh with his team, but there were times I'm watching, I'm like, yo, Kyrie, shoot the ball. Like, yo, who he was getting me in guard? I don't even know some dude named Stone who was on the Hornets. I don't even know. Like, yo, take him. Like, yo, who is this guy? So, you know, it's just stuff like that. So hopefully, as time goes on, I know, of course, like I said, this is the whole point of this is kind of analyze what we seen at first. I hopefully
dudes are fighting for a roster spot.
Who?
Just dudes probably fighting for a roster spot. So it's not like dudes are like the starters are gonna play that hard. They're just trying to get game shape.
No, I'm just saying I want Kyrie. I want a little bit in the middle of him being a facilitator, but yet seeing he has that matchup and just I don't know. I want too much, I guess.
I know. I'm about to say your expectations after this first preseason game.
No, I don't have.
High.
But my thing, my expectations are high. I'm just speaking on what I saw, and I hope it doesn't continue.
I mean,
but I still understand
I feel you.
Yeah, you know. So then on the other end, Dwight's trash.
I mean,
he's trash.
D-Dog.
He's terrible.
He's so whack. I mean, he's one of those ancient dinosaur position.
I know it was Lakers Celtics talks, but he is so trash.
He's terrible.
He can't even do a jump hook anymore.
You know who I do really like? I like that dude Nader. I was liking what he was doing in what's his name, Theus. I like his athletic ability,
Thies is
man.
cool.
I like
he's
Thies
like
and Nader,
he's a more athletic Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah, and Nader was kind of not facilitating. He was penetrating the paint real well.
No, I always like Nader. He just never could get a spot because he got too many guards.
I mean, yeah, we still do now, but I like where he can kind of play like an off guard position though, because he looks like he can be that.
Rozier, hope he gets more minutes.
I like Rozier.
He just needs minutes to get experience. People feel his main knock against him is that he shows his inexperience, but you can't get experience if you can't play.
Right.
So hopefully now that minutes opened up,
because Marcus is now going to be the Bradley role, which he still needs to stop shooting.
Wait,
it's cool.
Yo, this guy, he came out 2 for 2. I was like, okay, Marcus, I see you. I went right back to the old Marcus Smart, jacking.
Yeah. Wait till he gets to that corner again. His corner is like I think left wing.
I don't know, but I don't know about him.
And I can't wait to see Jason Tatum get acclimated.
Yeah, he looked
that was just
shaky. That was just rookie
things. You know, you're playing against real dudes now. That's all it is. Ain't the summer league no more.
Yeah. Who else we missing? We already touched on pretty much everybody.
That's really who I have my eyes
Jaylen
on.
Brown played okay.
Jaylen is like a friend of mine always says this too, and like I like Jaylen, but I'm thinking I have a lot. Like how you were talking about Kyrie, how I feel about Jaylen. Like I expect a lot out of him, but he really might just be like an energy guy that like gives you a spark off the bench. But I feel like he started, but.
He was there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah, he's more.
I think I would rather Marcus Smart start.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but Marcus Smart wants to come off the bench. So.
I guess dudes play better off that role. I see what Jaylen kind of gets into. I liked what he does though. I was liking what I see.
So let's transition over to the Lakers. Lonzo look like Lonzo. Kyle Kuzma's balling.
I'm impressed with Kyle Kuzma. I mean, I liked him in the summer league, but I'm real impressed with that dude.
Yeah, Kyle Kuzma's balling.
Almost brought him back. I actually stayed up because of him watching that game.
Yeah, no, he did his thing. He does his thing. Like I said, one of my boys said he was still in the draft, and I hate to admit that he was right, but that's definitely
my boys were saying the same thing.
I didn't want to admit it because I thought he was overhyping, but he's definitely looking like
how
the
Laker
steal
fans
in the
are,
draft.
man. Laker fans are just like that. The score was 9-2, and my man was like, "Yo, this is what we're gonna look like when we smash dudes." I was like, what?
Julius Randle looked straight.
He's getting shit.
Yeah, you think so?
Hell yeah. I mean, Kuzma, man. Gossard Kuzma. Kuzma's ready, bro.
Well, Julius Randle got potential.
He got potential, but I mean, 3-4 years in, I go by like the saying of like by year 3, if like you're really supposed to be that dude and like you're the top 5.
I think his contract's almost up.
Oh, he's in that year too, and that's another reason why he might be shipped out for a good piece. Which with transition, and I'm getting like a 3 guy in my opinion, or my fault, like a 2 guy.
Well, yeah. No, I mean don't they have it too? Well, they have
it's Caldwell Pope, but I mean, like I look at him as more of a bench guy in my opinion. So if you can trade Julius Randle for whatever 2.
All right, let's look at what they got. We got time. Let's look at what they got. They got Lonzo at the point.
Yep. Caldwell Pope at the 2.
Caldwell Pope at the 2.
Ingram at the 3.
Ingram at the 3. Randle at the 4.
And then Lopez would usually definitely start the 5.
But I'm saying if you look at their long-term plan, Brook Lopez is not in their long-term plan.
I mean,
they got Zubac. They got Zubac.
I'm not a fan of Zubac. Whatever his name is.
Yeah. He's okay. But I'm just trying to look at like, okay, if they did trade Randle.
But this is rental year though. You gotta think about that too. This is rental year for a lot of these players.
Yeah, and Jordan Clarkson. They still got Jordan Clarkson. They got
package him with Randle too.
Vanderblue. I like Vanderblue. No, I mean they have 2 guards. I'm just getting at they got people that could play that too.
Right.
I don't know like what kind of thing they would trade for. And then of course all Laker fans are hoping that they don't need to trade for anybody because everybody in the world is coming to them next year.
Right. For real.
So.
My thing is too. I just want to know like, what do you think about where they're gonna go long term in the season? I don't see them making the playoffs, but
I think
they'll get like 37 wins.
Optimistic. Their ceiling is like 9th seed.
I say they'd be like racing for 8. That's what I would
say.
Yeah,
like I said, that's being optimistic.
Because now the T-Wolves, who used to be that team chasing for 8, are now in the playoffs, probably going to be the 8 or the 7. In my opinion,
I think T-Wolves going to be way higher than.
I don't know, because like a lot of people want to talk about Wiggins, and I know I'm a fan of Wiggins, but once you get another guy involved like Jimmy Butler, and like you've never seen him play with anybody else. Like
Jimmy, even though Jimmy has his head case moments, he facilitates. He moves the ball. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He averages around like 5 assists, so he moves the ball for his position.
I just think that Hollywood Jimmy is just more like locker room guy, and is that good for the youth of the team?
But I mean, I don't feel like that's gonna knock them down to the 8th. I got them in the 6th, 5th range, honestly. But that's another conversation another day. Next 2 teams we're gonna discuss is the Rockets and the Thunder. Yep. So
Hoodie Mello.
Yo. All right, we'll get into that next episode. Catch y'all next time. Peace.